equals. Okay. So, if you're just joining us,
Which you are.
yeah, don't erase this. Don't do that. Leave this up here.
That's pretty.
We'll add a third formula tomorrow for shell. I will say this, thinking ahead. Shell is the one method they say is not tested on the AP, so I don't technically have to cover it. If we miss more days, we'll just leave this one out. But it is very, very handy for certain situations. They say you're never going to use it, okay? There's always an example or two on the AP where if you knew shell, it worked out very, very, very nice. Okay, so here's the example we're looking at. You got the area is y equals 2 root of x and y equals 2/3 x. And we're going around the line y equals 10. Okay. First time doing one of these, well, it is still washer. This is just washer continued, more versions of the same stuff. This example, however, illustrates why I like to stick with the r's to represent the radii instead of putting function names in there, because it's not always function names. So, crude graph. 2 root of x is going to look something like this, a little bit higher than our normal root of x, just a little bit higher. And then 2/3 x, if I remember correctly, is just going to kind of cut through like this. So it's like one of the examples we did yesterday. Just wanted to jazz it up a little bit. Okay, for the sake of argument, this is 0, 0, obviously, where they're going to cross. If y'all would please, as a group or on your own, figure out where they're going to hit again, because that's going to give us our window, our interval from 0 to something. So figure out where that is. I think it's a nice one if I did it right. So. Sorry, I didn't have my usual time to drive and eat, and I forgot that I was supposed to eat lunch today. So.
Oh wait, it's actually.
I'm like, oh crap, the kids are coming, I gotta go.
Okay. Oh wait, it's 10 o'clock. Oh.
Maybe I should eat. You always come to the culinary room. You're the good food.
Would y'all feed me? Okay, with it?
Yeah.
You were gonna make.
We were gonna
she's
make
like-
French toast.
She described to us all we had 15 minutes left. If you guys don't finish your work really quick, you won't be able to make French toast. I'm
There was
like,
no time to make French toast today regardless.
What? I have stuff to make French toast. It's like we have 15 minutes in this class left. We're not gonna finish our work to make French toast. We're not gonna make French toast. We're not gonna have time.
She didn't have everything in there. Like it was all out on the
It was
table.
all-
Like, where?
Eggs, milk,
how did
bread,
she think
period,
of time?
toast, cinnamon, gotta do cinnamon.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure.
like cinnamon. There was no time to make French toast today. Maybe.
Just get one person scrambling the eggs, that's all you need.
Just have it
Well,
in
it
the
was
cook
like, no.
time though.
Dip
Problem
the
is though,
bread,
she
go
had
on.
us in there in the kitchen too, the team, and we were going around everywhere grabbing stuff. They were like, we'd be in the way.
Like that's important.
9.
It is important.
I believe
Alright.
it's 9.
Yeah, 9.
9-6, yeah, I thought I worked a nice one there. 9-6.
I was
Okay.
thinking of something that like, I was thinking roots of something has to do something with the 3 at the bottom.
Well, good.
Like,
Okay, now we're going around the line y equals 10, which is up here. Alright, so in theory, if this is an x-axis rotation, or you need to think of it like that. It's a good old y equals 10 up here. Here's the line y equals 2/3 x, and here's y equals 2 root of x. Okay, pretty straightforward. Here's the area. And I'm going to spin it this way. Now, graphically or visually, here's what you need to talk about it. If we were spinning this around the x-axis, okay, from the outside it would look like a bowl, and on the inside we would have that cone missing. However, when we spin it around this line instead, what does the outside look like? If we were to spin this area around that line, what is the outside shape going to look like?
The outside shape?
Yep, it'll look like a cone, because this flat side right here is actually gonna be on the outside, and this curve is now gonna be on the inside. Okay, if I take this area and spin it around
Yeah.
that line right there.
That's
So it's a weird transition, but it's still pretty neat.
wait, but if it's spinning up there,
Yep, spinning it over that.
that's a weird, how do you get all the inside area out? It's, cause it's kinda like, cause it's like,
Okay,
there's so much missing area.
correct. So we're gonna be taking out a lot of crap. Here's how we go about writing our equation. In theory, it's very simple. Pi from A to B, which for us is gonna be from 0 to 9. Okay, 0 to 9. Okay, here's where it gets fun.
Ooh.
Outside radius versus inside radius. Here's how I suggest you do the outside versus inside. Take your pencil and put it on the line that you're spinning around. And draw until you hit the outside function. For this one, the outside function is gonna go all the way to the line. Okay,
So it's one.
that's big R. Whatever the distance is from here to that line. The inside radius for us is going to be from here to the curve. There's our inside radius. And again, with this picture, nothing changes places, so we don't need to worry about hopping from one function to another. The line is always technically on the outside and the curve is technically on the inside. That looks misleading because the line is below the curve, but when you put it in relation to the line that you're spinning around, it is farther away. Okay? So now my question is, what is the distance of big R?
Distance of big R.
Yep. How far is it from this to this?
10, negative 10 plus, oh, so 2/3 x minus 10,
Other way around.
other way around?
10
Okay, 10.
minus 2/3 x.
Okay. yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay? 10 minus 2/3 x. So my big R is 10 minus 2/3 x, pi r squared. Okay, there's our big R, and we got that distance the same way in Algebra 1, kid. We get distance, we just subtracted, okay? Minus pi inside radius squared. So, what is little r?
10 minus
10 minus the root function, 10 minus
2.
2 root of x. Ladies and gentlemen, there's our setup. Once you get here, it's kind of, I'm not gonna say child's play, maybe toddler's play. It's not that bad to go
Pre-K
from
play.
here. Terrible threes,
I hate,
3s in a row.
I have a preschool class.
I never understood where terrible twos came from. As a parent now, 2 is easy.
I have
3.
a preschool class
3.
for swim lessons. I have 2 of them I hated.
So you have a daughter.
I have 2 daughters. One that'll be 2 in May, and one that'll be
3 is the bad
Four,
one,
yeah.
2's not bad, 3 is the bad
Good
one.
luck.
they're fine.
They're
We're
fine.
whipping them into shape.
You just look at them.
I really think the
Scared.
parents, they like giving us off to them, the screaming
Oh,
kids,
yeah.
for a half
Well,
hour.
that's the whole point,
And I
is
just
they
look
get
at,
rid of their
um,
annoying kids so they can do stuff with their
I'll
life.
tell you, before I had kids, I looked forward to Fridays. After I had kids, I looked forward to Mondays. Getting back to just some peace and quiet at school. Some. I look at all the things that I used to get angry about, like even in middle school, all the stuff that those little turds used to do that made me angry.
And you
Now I'm
say-
like, whatever.
You just, see at home, you should just put on the headphones, lock yourself in a room.
Oh, I wish I could.
Turn on the Xbox.
Yeah, but then his wife would yell at him.
Yeah, so it's a matter of what do I do with the kids and do with the German.
German's a
That's
lot.
tough one, yeah. That's That's a tough one.
Yelling kids are really bad, but German's really bad too.
German, yeah.
Does she talk English, but when she's mad, she talks German, or is it just always?
She tries to stay in German in the house a lot for the kids, so they pick up on it, yeah. And I do what little German I can do. I say everything I can. It's the same for, you don't say that much to a toddler, you just, no, don't do that, sit down, but it's the same stuff you tell them, but they get it over and over again. I don't know if I've told you one of my favorite German stories.
Is this something she did?
No, well, I have a ton of those, but she has a problem with idioms.
Like,
Oh, I
Like we
think so,
say,
yes.
get your ducks in a row, and
Yeah.
she says, get your geese lined up, and we're like, no.
Is it kinda
it's
like-
close, yeah.
have you ever watched NCIS?
Which one? The original?
The original
Yeah.
with Gibbs and all
Yeah.
that. That one, the one lady, the foreign lady that doesn't.
Oh, yeah,
It's kind of like her,
Ziva,
that
yeah.
Ziva, who never gets the idioms. They're close, but they're not.
No, they're not.
They're like
quite
they're on the point, kind of.
Talking about just typical German mentality. This is a Jewish kid in her class that said this, by the way, which I thought was amusing.
Does she teach German?
She does at Carolina Forest
I was
right
about to
now.
ask what she teaches, and I was like, I think I remember you telling me.
Lucky.
Why?
We could learn German.
It would be nice. This district is absolutely, we've worked in 3 districts, and this district is horrible about
language.
foreign language, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Horrible.
like you either learn
We
Spanish.
came from Lexington, which was the
Spanish one,
foreign
Spanish two,
language
Spanish
hub. They had Russian, Chinese, they had Latin, German, French, Spanish, they had it all.
I heard colleges. Are
I just wanted to learn Italian.
It would have been nice, you know, to have
Like,
that
I'm
opportunity.
trying it on my own, I'm trying to teach myself.
more by Rosetta Stone.
The lesson they were
It's just so
doing,
expensive, Rosetta Stone.
it is.
It works though.
But it
Me
works,
and my
but
mom
you gotta
was
pay
thinking-
and
yeah,
be
like-
devoted to it.
Me and my mom was thinking about splitting it to get it.
You can just keep. You can either do the month plan or just buy the set.
We were just
Yeah.
gonna buy the set.
The funny thing that this story always amuses me, she was doing a lesson on modes of transportation and distances. So like words like near and far, or very close, very far, and then modes of transportation, cars, buses, planes, things like that. So this is all in German. She asked the kids, okay, where's the drugstore? And they said, around the corner, very close. How would you get there? And they said, walk. You would walk there on your feet. I said, okay. Where is America? They were basing it in Germany. Where is America? And they all said very far away. How would you get there? And they said,
Biplane.
airplane, yeah.
Or Vogue.
Either or.
Stupid.
And then she said, okay, where's France? And they said, close. And then she said, okay, how would you get there? And one kid jumped up and went, mit dem Panzer! And a Panzer is a tank. So she said, and she said, very good.
Very good. How would you get there by a tank? Did she accept the answer?
Yeah,
of
she said, that's cute, yeah, we'll do that.
I like
Thinking more Auto, but you know, we'll Panzer works.
What is that car?
Alto was a car, yeah. Auto.
Car, tank, same thing.
Alright, from here, I'll leave it up, well, what would you do from here?
What do you mean? You find that area.
No, like,
No.
talk me through how you would progress through the arithmetic. What would you do next? Okay, option A, plug it in the calculator, done.
Yeah.
So we're gonna scrap that and say you can all plug it in, you know what you're doing. Option B, by hand. How would you do this one by hand?
We could swear them out
Probably the best way. You could use U-sub on this one,
and. maybe
but
on
this one,
no,
U-sub would not do so well, so you need to square it out. So for us, I'm just gonna get you set up because I would not do this one all the way out. And while I'm getting you set up, oh, you need me to do something?
No.
Okay.
Just making sure these numbers is right. You got 7 AB and 1 BC. Right?
You're doing test ordering?
Yeah.
Yes, 7 AB and 1 BC.
Alright.
Yep.
Sure. I'll read the order, just make sure everything's on point.
Cool. Alright.
What was our test?
Yeah,
Being me,
that's right, baby.
get them 5s on it.
That's right.
Five.
May 5th, yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Alright, so 0 to 9.
How many FOBs have you got in your entire teaching career?
Not a lot. There's always one, at least one a year. Sometimes more than that, depending on the crew. There's always one.
I found an app.
There's always one.
That's
For
Michael.
There you go.
It's Italian word of the day, so we'll go with that one. I have one in my Nook.
I hope it's me, you never know.
Alright, let's see, 20 over 3, 40 over 3. So minus 40 over 3x plus 4/9 x squared. That's that part, minus, I'm gonna have to write tiny here. 100, 20 minus 40 root of x plus 4x. That's an x over there, dx.
I have-
And y'all I'm pointing out here that this is not calculus. All you're really practicing right now is your algebra skills, your distribution. Alright.
Okay. If you don't write v equals every single time, will they mark off? Will they get
No,
annoyed?
no, see, I'm
Because I
just,
don't do that.
you really don't even need to put the v. I'm doing it for y'all because it's,
Okay.
what we're doing is volume. They understand that if you start right here, that's fine. I would, however, put the equal sign in each
Yeah.
line to say, okay, what was before is equal to this, is equal to this, is equal to this. You know what I mean?
Because I don't write it every
That,
time.
you don't need to, it's fine. Okay, we're gonna have negative 40 x and negative 4s, 12, negative 52 thirds, I think. No, that's not right. Yeah, negative 52 thirds. X takes care of this and this. The hundreds canceled out. Let's go ahead and throw in that positive 40 root of x and that positive 4/9 x squared. This is in no way ordered, but there you go. Pi antiderivative, all right, what's this gonna suck? Okay, we got squared. So negative 26 over 3 x squared, I think. Oh, man, okay, that's gonna be x to the 1/2, so x to the 3/2. 2/3, so 80 thirds, x to the 3/2 plus 4 over 27x cubed from 0 to 9. Well, the good news is 0 works nicely.
Yeah, because the polynomial.
And another thing is that 9s actually work very well in this problem
Because of the.
because of all the 3s and 27s and stuff like that, so this is gonna work nicely. Okay, 9 squared is 81, 81 divided by 3 is 27, 26 times 27. Alright, 7 is 6, 42, 4, 18, 6 is 2, 4, 5, 7, 5, 6, 7, 0, 2, 702.
Yep.
Alright, so negative 702. Alright, 9 to the 3/2 is gonna be 27. 27 over 3 is 9, that's 720. I think that one's right. Okay, hang on. 9 cubed, 9 squared is 81, 81 over 27 is 3, 9 times 3 is 27, 27 times 4 is 108, I think. And then minus 0. Alright, so we're gonna get, what was that, 18, and so 126 pi. That's my guess, and I'm sticking with it. So at some point, I would say test me, because I'm not sure if that's right, I'm pretty close. I would plug that in to see what you get, plug that in to see what you get, and see if they come out to be the same, just to test ourselves to make sure we're cool. You got to be, I mean, this, from here on, this is old news. Yes, it's taxing on the arithmetic, but that's old news, okay? The only new thing I'm pointing out is how to calculate area. Be careful, if what you're rotating is above or below, just be careful that you're subtracting the right order. If this line had been down below, then this would have been the top and the line would have been the bottom. Does that make sense? So be careful as you're subtracting that you're doing the correct one from the top and bottom to get your radii. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about as bad as it gets. What I would like to do now is to let y'all break up and to do some practice problems. I have 3 selected, huh?
You do, as I was asking, you had some.
I do. I have 3 selected old AP practice problems for you to try. Good practice for your quests. Hint,
I'll
hint,
take
wink,
it.
wink. Alright. And as you do these, crap, okay, these are not collated. Okay, number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. Just skip number 2, unless you want to practice that one, which you can do. It's old stuff, but you can
There's
do
a
it.
later grade.
It is, no, when you look at it, you'll kind of,
I saw rate, so I just assumed.
yeah, well, that means they've given you a derivative.
They
That's
did.
cool, yeah. I would like to point out something very, very cool in this. Now, I've given you 3 years. I've given you 2001, actually 2 years. 2001, 2002, and 2002B. For a big chunk of time in the early 2000s, 2000 to 2011-ish, they gave 2 versions of the test. They've always had 2 versions, but they started publishing them, I think in 2002, for people that had to take it late or take it overseas. So they had a different version for those people that had to do that. Because technically, the time zone difference between us and California is 3 hours. The test is 3.5 hours. So if a person on the East Coast started the test at 8, then a person on the West Coast would already be starting their test when the East Coast finished.
So there's no cheat.
So there's no cheating. However, if I was in Guam taking the test, then somebody on the East Coast could call and say, here are your questions.
Bam.
Be ready, you know? And so that's why they came up with multiple versions of the
Do
test.
they really have people do that?
Oh, yeah.
That's,
Mhm.
that's,
Makes sense, like, you have a test, you get out your test.
I guarantee you could probably, I would say about a half hour, maybe an hour, about an hour after the test is finished, you could probably go online and Google 2015 AP Calculus, and somebody has posted them.
And someone like.
But it's not them with the actual test, it's them running back to their teacher saying, okay, here are the questions, and then the teacher gets online and posts everything. And it's not to be sneaky and put the questions out there, it's that some people are just nerdy enough to want to show you how to work. Okay, here are the questions, let's start talking, y'all, and then everybody starts doing, oh, awesome.
What do you
calculus.
have to do this year? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, so I would suggest breaking up into groups of 1 or more, yeah, 1 group or 5 groups, however you want to do that. I would like for you to give it a go. You can technically do all these now. One other thing to point out. Look at what number they are every year.
1.
Question number 1, question number 1, question number 1.
Dang.
Okay? In the last 15 years, I have only seen 1 year in which they did not make this number 1. So it is going to be calculator, and it's going to be right out the bat.
I don't know.
Right out the gate.
They're already switching to Tuesday, they're not switching with the normal stuff this year.
All right, good luck with yours. We got your stuff right here. Amber, can you put that off for me?
They're gonna go.
And then y'all use your time wisely with each other. I'll leave this for them. If you have any questions, let me know.
They-
No.